the speech and prize-giving ceremony at Buduk Lower and Upper Basic School. Reports and allegations circulating in the public domain have raised questions about the selection of a guest speaker, the role of education officials, and subsequent administrative decisions affecting members of staff. Well, here on Coffee Time, our responsibility is not to amplify rumors or speculate on matters that have yet to be established. It is to seek clarity, ask fair questions, and give those responsible for our public institutions an opportunity to explain. And that is precisely why we are pleased to welcome the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, the Honorable Dr. Habibatou Drammeh, back to the program. She's been here before. Honorable Minister, good to see you again, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, Peter. Good morning to listeners and viewers. I am excited to be here.
Let's begin by establishing the facts. Has the ministry been briefed on the events surrounding the Buduk speech and prize-giving ceremony? In other words, what do you know about the matter?
Thank you, Peter. Good morning. Yes, we have been briefed about the incident at Buduk Lower and Senior Secondary School. I have actually requested for a report, which I am hoping to receive in the next few days. First, I want to commend the education community for the wonderful speech and prize-giving ceremonies that have been going on. We are happy to see the school comply fully with the press release regarding school speeches and prize giving, and we have seen our learners come beautifully in their uniforms across the country. I think that's highly commendable. We thank the school administrators, we thank education stakeholders, parents, and the learners, and it has been beautiful. I have seen pictures of these young boys and girls, and they have been quite amazing. Thank you very much. This is the only way we can work together to ensure that we not only bring stability in the education system, but also support the learners and focus more on delivering the teaching and learning services and reduce the burden on parents and the learners. The matter, now coming to the matter, the incident at Buduk, normally when speeches and prize-giving ceremonies are organized, the school authorities work with the structures, the governance structures of the school, which includes the community. We have a very strong participation of the SMCs and the Parent-Teacher Association in our school governance system, because we need...
SMCs are senior management committees?
They are the school management committees, and the school management committees involve the community members. It could range from leaders within the community to, the parents and any stakeholder in the community that is interested in education or that we feel has influence in the community that can support our work in terms of getting the learners in school and also supporting them at home. So normally, school authorities are supposed to be very close to this segment of our governance system, because we have realized that we need the community to deliver the teaching and learning in our schools. So I had expected that Buduk upper and senior secondary would have involved the community, because the matter that happened in the school was lack of communication and lack of agreement on who the guest speaker was going to be. So based on the briefings I received, one cham was identified by Mod Cham was identified. I don't know Mod Cham, and therefore I can't say anything against Mr. Cham. A gentleman, he was identified according to the reports by my regional office to be the guest speaker. By the way, these two schools came together to have one speech and prize given, and therefore they formed a committee. And the committee members were selected from the 2 or 3 schools, because it has all the levels of education. So they came together, and according to reports, some staff in the school recommended Cham. It was not the committee's recommendation, the report I received. It was a group of staff who had recommended to the committee for Cham to serve as the guest speaker. So when Cham was identified as guest speaker, I think a day before the speech and prize given, the committee came back to the school authorities to report the logistics and, of course, the person who is identified as guest speaker. And then the community came to know, and the community raised some flags that we cannot have Cham as a guest speaker, because you have to remember that our speeches and prize giving ceremonies, the audiences are the learners and their parents, and it's very important that we go along, we work with them, collaborate to ensure that whoever we are bringing, at least they are happy, to listen to the person. At the end of the day, we want people to come to our school and inspire our learners, and also to advise them, because they would be the ones we hope to grow and to be good citizens in this country. So when the community disagree to have Cham as the guest speaker, the simple thing the school authorities could have done was to respectfully call Cham and relate this to Cham. But again, that is an area that we will address at our level, because it's a matter that should not have even come to the office of the PS, much more the minister, because it is I see it as a very simple matter that they could have handled. So when Cham, when we came to know, because it was like a push and a pull, okay, Cham is going to be, and the community said, no, we don't want him to be a guest speaker. So the best we can do is to look at the greater good. And the greater good is to step Cham aside and get someone else that the audience is comfortable with to deliver the speech, or to serve as a guest speaker, and that's exactly what we did. We haven't done this because we believe, or it came to us that Cham belongs to another political party. I think over time Cham and the community had been having issues. We all know politics. When we belong to different camps, sometimes it's not easy, and that's why it's always nice, even if you don't agree, you don't belong to the same party, you relate with each other respectfully, so that when a thing of this kind comes up, people will still be happy to have you on board. But it appeared they had not had very good relations in the past, and they consider Cham as someone who has not been respectful to the elders of the community, and as such, they could not have been an audience for Cham. And we couldn't allow a few people to stop a speech and prize giving from happening. Okay. So we decided to give that directive for Cham to step aside, and for someone else that the community is comfortable with to come and be the guest speaker. So this was what truly happened. It has nothing to do with.
According to information that you received, the school management committee chose Cham, but the community said no.
Yes.
And this was when the ministry intervened. What role, if any, does the ministry play in approving or changing guest speakers normally at public school functions? Is that a decision for the school? Is it for the ministry, the regional office, or what?
It was a decision that the school could have taken. Like I said, it's not a difficult thing. If they had the meetings with the SMC and the community, it would have been very clear at the onset that no. Yes, we know you want to take him, but we are sorry. We won't be as an audience to him. And, they could have quickly, respectfully called Cham and have it addressed. So it was a slack on the side of our administrators at the level of the school to handle this properly and professionally.
Okay. But normally, does the ministry intervene in situations like this to, help schools decide on a speaker for their prize and speech giving ceremonies?
No, we don't. We leave it completely with the schools and the community to decide. So since the speeches and prize givings started, the ministry at the level of headquarters has never intervened in the selection of speakers in the school. But we are very mindful, like we continue to tell our colleagues at the level of the schools to be careful, because we should not use the school premises as an avenue or sanctuary for political statement making or gains. So we encourage speakers coming to the school to inspire our learners and to, help them to be better people in society.
And would you say the action taken by your ministry would be consistent with ministry policy?
It is. It is indeed consistent with ministry policy, only that we had some lapses at the level of the school because it would have been a thing to have addressed at the level of the school before even coming up to the headquarters.
Indeed, as you rightly stated, Cham is involved in politics. He's been on this platform a number of occasions. He's in opposition politics. What guidance does the ministry give school administrations on maintaining political neutrality?
I keep telling everybody, and we are very firm on this. We are all politicians, but we know where to take our politics. When it comes to education, let's focus on delivering quality. Inclusive education, we have lots of challenges that as a sector we have directed reforms to address. So let's spend most of our time addressing that, and then we can have our political activities outside of the school premises. As long as the audiences in the school are learners, teachers, students, I encourage every school administrator and guest speaker to please focus on inspiring the learners rather than engage them in politics. We will not accept it in our school environment. If it's happening, we will stop it. If it wants to happen, we will not allow it.
Had Modu Cham been someone else from the ruling party, Modu Sabali, for instance, would the ministry have had any issue with that?
Like I said, it's not a matter of the headquarters. Basically, if the community and the school authorities had agreed to have Mamadou Sabali as their guest speaker, we have no problem with that. In fact, if they had agreed to have Cham as their guest speaker, we wouldn't have any problems with that. I have seen opposition, vocal persons in our schools giving, serving as guest speakers. I think the recent one I saw was Nyawurulu. Mr. Nyawurulu, I think Koma is his last name, with respect. He did a great job. And we all know how vocal he is in the political space. So we definitely have no problems with that as long as they can come in there and inspire the learners to be better people in society instead of preaching politics or trying to score points using our platform.
There are also reports, Honourable Minister, that some teachers may have been transferred following this controversy. Can you confirm whether any transfers have taken place?
Actually, this time of the year or the month, we on the deployment of teachers. So, like I said, I have directed to get a report on the matter in totality, and of course, some foul plays occurred because, there was this information that was meant for the head teacher in terms of directing him on what to do, and the message was found on social media. That's highly unethical. We don't do that. You can't share information that is meant for internal consumption on a public space. There is no reason to prove a point. You are the leader of the school. If you are the principal, I think your staff should believe what you tell them, especially if it is a directive coming from the headquarters. So there was no need, truly, to share the information to prove a point. So we will address some of the gaps, really, that happen in the school and the lack of leadership that also eventually, came out or we realize happened. So we will try to strengthen the school. We don't want such a thing to happen in the future. We therefore indulge everyone to play their part. And if they don't understand and don't know how to proceed, they can always consult the headquarters. So the issue of transfer, no transfer, movements, we are looking at it and we will address it appropriately.
And even if one of the suspected leakers of this information were to be transferred, you're saying it just happens that we are, at a point, in the academic year when transfers will happen, whether they leaked or didn't leak before, transfers would have been made anyway.
Yeah, transfers are already happening. In fact, I mean, the people who leaked it, we won't only transfer them because, I mean, this is, like I said, it's lack of professionalism. You can't do that. It's not nice for people to leak message or information that are meant for the ministry internal use. So we will address it not only through transfer, through some other disciplinary means. And because I believe that we should all be ready to do this job. And like I said, there is no point. There is no point for me to, for example, share something that's meant for internal consumption to you, Peter, because I want to prove a point. I mean, my position as a head in the school I should be enough. You know, I should be able to say a thing and people believe that, yes, this is it, and that people follow the instructions.
There are claims that teachers were warned against speaking to the media. What is the ministry's policy on employees communicating with journalists?
I mean, you know, there are spokespeople. I'm not aware, I don't know where that directive came from, but generally, when it comes to talking to the media about your own personal interviews, I mean, that's okay. But when it comes to speaking to the media about the ministry, we should know, because you're going on our behalf. So that's very important. So I don't know
so
on
the
what
ministry
basis.
is not against employees of MOPSE speaking to the media, but the ministry should have been informed prior.
On their personal capacity, I have no problem. But if they're going to represent the ministry, I want to know. We want to give them permission before they go to speak to the media about the ministry.
Okay. Will the ministry now conduct an inquiry to establish exactly what happened in Buduk and make those findings public?
Yes, that is already on the way. That has already started. So, like I said, probably this week we'll get the report. And, of course, we will take necessary actions. Because, I mean, the education community is a very critical one. And, I mean, we are very happy that when we started, everyone had been very supportive. And we have all seen some of the good, the good results coming out of this. So this is what we want to continue. And like I said, we are moving further. And now we should be focusing on the learner outcome and not on small things like who should be a guest speaker or not a guest speaker. I mean, those are, insignificant in what we do. So we want everybody to concentrate on the bigger picture and not on small things like this.
So, okay, there's an inquiry underway. When the report is submitted, will it eventually be shared with the public? Could Coffee Time call, for instance, Honorable Habibatou Drammeh again and say, well, let's come and talk about this report?
Yeah, we can talk about it, but we won't want to share the report. But we can discuss the report. That's absolutely no problem.
And what assurance can you give parents, teachers, and students that decisions affecting public schools are made on educational, not political grounds? Because a lot of people are reading anything and everything into this.
Yeah, and I mean, we respect the perspectives of people. I mean, everyone will have their own view, and that's absolutely respected. But I want to assure parents and the education community that we are not here to favor anyone. I mean, I think people who know some of us or worked with us, yes, we are human beings. We are not prone to making mistakes, but we are here to do the best as possible. And that is to deliver the services of education in the most effective and efficient manner as possible. So because we work with other people, so it's obvious that sometimes these problems will come up. But when they come up, we will treat them with all fairness and ensure that we bring back sanity to the education system and also to deter its future occurrence. I think that's very important. We would not say that, okay, we will, of course, we will use the carrot and stick, but again, we will be very fair. We just want everybody to take this work very, very seriously and to fit properly in their roles. If you are a school head, you are an administrator, fit in your role. I mean, if the minister is there, it means you represent the minister in your school. So you should be able to make very important decisions that would be respected and adhered to by people who work under you.
And the beginning of the school break, you famously appeared on a video trying to urge our young learners to enjoy their holiday, but to do so responsibly. Are you seeing that? And what does enjoying the holiday responsibly mean, according to Dr. Habibatou Drammeh?
Yes, I think I am definitely seeing that, and I think learners who are used to the social media, some approach my daughter, and you know they showed my daughter the video, so you can see that a few of the learners who are acquainted with social media and with technology, the message has reached them, and parents, message has reached many parents, because I met with parents and they are like, wow, that was good. So I'm hoping that they will help in the endeavor. I mean the learners, the young boys and girls in this country are the future of this country. So I can't imagine us relenting in supporting the young boys and girls of this country. If we ground them at the foundational level, then as a country we will say, yes, we have done a good job, because it will make Honorable Professor Gomez's job easy, and we see all the good things he's doing in this country. So the only way to help his job is to ensure that we prepare the students very well. So I want them to be responsible. Yes, it's August, it's a holiday time. You know, I also want to take this opportunity to encourage the schools that want to engage in the summer sessions, you know, to also be very mindful of the programs that they organize in the schools. So let it not be 100% academic. You know, let them blend it with some fun, you know, with some activities that will encourage the young learners to come out of their comfort zones in terms of expressing themselves, in terms of getting involved, you know, and in terms of participating, if it's going to be an activity that is of public speaking in nature, or that is a debate, you know, or even being creative. So let them get out of the normal teaching environment and expose these learners to some other things that will help them in their day-to-day life, and also in their growth generally, before the schools open. And let the learners be careful. I wish I can stop the learners from going to Senegambia without company.
I was going to come to that to say, well, in speaking of activities, beach parties are popular, particularly so-called Sunday beach parties, and we know what has happened tragically, you know, during some of these activities. What's your position on beach parties, Sunday beach parties in particular?
Yeah, I mean, if they are going there, let them go with company. Let them go with people who can, you know, look after them. I mean, of course, we all know all work, no play. Makes Jack a dull boy. Yeah, so for me, it's okay. I go to the beach also. I go with my kids to the beach, but just be careful. Just be careful. Do your best not to get in bad space. I think that's very important. Go with people you know that they are good, that they can, you know, have your back. That's very, very important. And go, don't spend the whole day. I mean, you can spend most of the daytime there, but when the night is approaching, make sure you go home, because sometimes it's not easy and not safe. And it cannot be like every day. I mean, it's not easy. So let everybody be careful and be vigilant. Enjoy, but enjoy in a way that you know you can have control over, to ensure that your safety. Because I don't want to miss any learner in September. Everybody, by the grace of God, to come back healthy and in good spirit, you know, to start the academic session.
That's everybody's wish, I would say. Some key decisions recently came from the ministry on, you know, graduation ceremonies, extra payments being requested of learners and all of that. So what's the direction of MOPSE under Honorable Dr. Habibatou Drammeh? Where do you want to take the ministry?
I mean, I think the mandate of the sector is very clear, but because we are a big sector, it has been very difficult it has been very difficult to get everybody on the same page. Last week we were in a session, senior management and partners were in a session to finalize the postings. And I challenged the team, and of course myself as the minister, that come next year we will digitalize the whole process of posting. Here what we want to attain is to ensure that we are more efficient in posting, the posting of our teachers. At the moment, most of the work is manual. I mean, it's the regular traditional assignment of teachers from one school to the other. But if we are able to digitalize the system, we should be able to program the system in such a way that it knows that, for example, in St. Teresa's, we should be able to know the performances of our learners in St. Teresa's and be able to identify the caliber of teachers that should go to St. Teresa's to make it better. And in that way, once the program is up and then the posting begins, the system automatically will identify the people that fit in the different schools based on the levels and, of course, in terms of quality, where the schools are. So perhaps after that process, we'll just come back to do a few adjustments, because sometimes some people, because of health reasons, they can't go to certain parts of the country, and we are always very happy to consider the requests that come along those lines, and we are also happy to consider requests that come from female teachers whose postings, for example, if they are very far away, cause family challenges. So we are always happy to look at some of those things when they are very genuine. So that is the focus. The focus is, let's get away from activities that are not adding much value in the school system.